Hello, everyone out there, and welcome to the Crawford County, Illinois Ghost Hunter Society live talk show. My name is Jason Snyder. I'm the founder and team leader of the Crawford County, Illinois Ghost Hunter Society, and this is episode number 23, guys. And have we got some stuff to talk about tonight? We have had one heck of a past couple weeks here at the Crawford County Ghost Hunters with our haunted tours and everything going on and haunted overnights at Pine Lawn Manor. And we are here to tell you guys some crazy, crazy stuff that's went on. So welcome to our talk show, guys. It is currently 8:09 p.m. according to my clock. So I'm a little late on the start here. But you can visit our website at crawfordcountyghosthunter.org. Check it out if you guys want to get on there and see our website. We also have an email address. It is illinoishauntings@gmail.com. If you want to email us in any type of strange phenomena that you may be experiencing, or a house that you think may be haunted, a business you want us to investigate, please get a hold of us. You can message us on our Facebook page also. We try to respond to our Facebook messages as soon as possible. You can also email us at Illinois Hauntings. Our Facebook page is Facebook.com/Crawford County Ghost Hunters. We are also dual streaming tonight onto YouTube. So if you're watching out there on YouTube, again, as always, we only follow the live questions on our Facebook page. So please switch over to our Facebook page if you want to get any questions answered tonight that you may want to ask. We got a lot of stuff going on. So we're going to tell you guys, what we've been experiencing and what we've been finding over there in our investigations there at Pine Lawn Manor, and talk about some of the crazy things that went on this past weekend also. But we also have an Instagram page. Instagram.com/Crawford County Ghost Hunters, or follow us at Crawford County Ghost Hunters on Instagram. Music tonight, as always, was by the Midnight Syndicate. All rights reserved, used with permission. You can check their website out at midnightsyndicate.com. They also can be found on Spotify and YouTube. Those guys are awesome. Let us use their music. Definitely support those guys and give them a like. Don't have any special guests tonight or co-hosts with me tonight, so I'm going to kind of get straight into some business here, talk about what's been going on with the Crawford County, Illinois Ghost Hunter Society and our events that we've been having. Our last event, public event we held was this past weekend, and we haven't had a show since a little bit before Halloween, so I've got a lot of catching up for you guys to tell you what all we've experienced on our public outings that we had at Pine Lawn Manor, and clear up into this weekend. So we're going to talk a little bit about that and some strange occurrences later on after, we fill you in on our haunted overnights and all the things that have happened there. We're going to talk about the subject of objects appearing from nowhere, which ties in with what's happening at Pine Lawn Manor. That's going to be kind of our topic tonight after we get done talking about our experiences there. Objects that materialize from nowhere, such as marbles and pennies. And we're going to get into that a little later on. So something I did not believe in whatsoever. I did not. I would tell you, you were crazy if you told me this. But we've experienced it, guys, and I'm going to talk about it. But anyway, the place we're talking about again, I just can't quit talking about this place because of the strange activity and unusual phenomena that's taken place there. It is Pine Lawn Manor in Sumner, Illinois. I'm sure if you've been following our page, you've seen our live feed. And the cool thing, we went live on Halloween, going into Halloween, and we caught everything that we told you guys we've been experiencing on our live feed. Unfortunately, you can go to our live feed and look at that. But the problem is, when we're recording and we're sitting in there on our live feed in Pine Lawn Manor in these rooms, it's dark anyway. But we were going into a full moon that night, And what you guys don't realize out there, is that we can still see in that room. We've got our night vision. When we're filming off that camera, when we do a live feed, when we cut the lights and you guys see complete blackness, complete darkness, a lot of times we still have a little ambient light in the room. We can see from, the moonlight coming in the windows, and that was especially the case that night. So, we could physically see these objects come out of nowhere, even though you guys probably couldn't see them, on the darkness of the live feed. The camera doesn't allow enough light into there to actually make anything visible when we kill the lights. And anyway, when we started our public event on both nights, on the 30th going into the 31st, was our last one I need to talk about, and we did a full activity report on this too. Checking the live feed out there. Hey, Ivan's on there even watching tonight. This is Ivan in the South Building at Sumner. We've been trying to contact you. Need to call me or Earl. Okay, we will. I'll get a hold of you, Ivan, after the show. I'll try to get a hold of you. Give me a thumbs up, Ivan, if that's good. But yeah, we're going to try to talk about, some of the things that happened there, some of the things we've been experiencing. But going into, the 30th into the 31st, that's when we, had some strange things happen. Coins were flying again. These coins are coming out of nowhere. I don't understand it. They're coming out of like places, that they shouldn't be coming out of. They're rolling down holes, they're materializing. We got inside there and actually, we seen coins laying one day in a row. Like, down the hallway, there's a set of desks like down the hallway. When we came out of what we refer to as the crazy room, there was a penny on one desk, a penny on another desk, a penny on another desk. We can't explain where these things are coming from. And we empty our pockets before we go in. I look at my team members' pockets. We all empty our pockets. On the last couple tours, we actually made the people coming into our haunted overnight empty their pockets to verify they don't have any pennies, marbles, or anything on them. So, and we've looked at the floors, we've swept the floors, we know what's on the floors. There's none of these objects, in this building. So we're still trying to figure out where these things are coming from. I don't understand it. I've never seen anything like it in my life. This is like a new phenomena that I am just completely blown away by. I've always heard that ghosts and spirits can leave like pennies, and like they call it pennies from heaven. I'm sure you guys have heard about that. A loved one looks down and they find a penny that they believed is from a loved one. And, there's a date on it that matches up to a date that maybe a past relative passed away. I never really kind of believed in any of that. I never believed that coins or any type of objects can materialize and come out of nowhere. But that is exactly what is happening at Pine Lawn Manor. Stuff is coming out of nowhere. We are watching it come out of nowhere. We had skeptics on our tour that saw this. It's not just us saying this, guys. We brought the public in. We brought the public into these events to show them what's going on, and they're experiencing it. It's mostly the ones that stuck with us and stayed till the 4 a.m. hour, 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. is when most of the activity takes place. So if you didn't stay that long, you probably missed a lot of the stuff I'm talking about. And I tried to tell them, I'm like, you guys need to stick it out. Don't leave before 4 a.m. And because that's the big hour in Pine Lawn Manor. We will see things, hear things, knocks still happening, bangs on a pile of metal in what we call crazy room. We've been seeing a lot of stuff, hearing a lot of stuff. People on our tours were seeing shadow figures pop in and out of rooms, like a head kind of bobbing and, popping in and out of a room. Just a lot of strange phenomena. And we've kind of nicknamed it the Pine Lawn Poltergeist because it's poltergeist-like activity, But when I say poltergeist, I don't see it in the same terms as most people think of a poltergeist. They think of the scary movie, but a poltergeist is basically German for noisy ghost. They make noise, they bang on things, they throw things, they disrupt things, they move things. I don't think this is anything bad or evil. I don't believe in that type of stuff like we've talked about many times on this show. I just think it's people trying to get our attention, severely trying to get our attention. But we're going to get into an incident that happened over the weekend, though. But yeah, I'm trying to check the comments here. Looks like we got Karen and Jen, everybody on here tonight. Josh, Tammy, Joe. We thank you guys for watching. Some of our top fans on there leaving comments. But, we still don't understand what's happening. Into the 31st, into Halloween. When we go there, Halloween into November 1st was crazy even. We had strange events taking place that night where multiple witnesses watched a quarter come out of a wall. I seen it myself. I was in the crazy room. We had enough light coming into that room, and I was live. We were live on our Facebook when this happened. We caught this on live, guys. This is not being faked. This is not being hoaxed. I cannot debunk it. People are not throwing this stuff. It comes from areas where people aren't at. It comes from directions where people are not standing. Unless, like, we've got a professional magician in there that is invisible that we can't see. I mean, that's like what we're dealing with. It's like there's some kind of magician in the room and he's making these things appear out of the air. And none of us are professional magicians, unfortunately, but unless somebody's not telling me anything on my team. But I seen this physically come out of a wall, guys. Comes out of the wall, comes toward my face. Right before this quarter gets to my face, it deflects and goes flying off into the room where it lands, and we marked it with blue tape with the time and date. No explanation. So we can't debunk it. I can't figure out why a quarter would come from a wall. And everybody's seen it. They've seen it fly through the air. And then later on, we're marking all this stuff where it lands like a crime scene with tape, with blue tape, and dating it. We're putting the time that it happens, and we're leaving it on the floor because that's how we're treating this. We want stuff left exactly where it falls so other people can see where it falls and what fell there. So there's blue tape and stuff all over Pine Lawn right now because it's happened nearly all over the building. It's not just in that room. It happens in the hallways. It happens down on group 3 in the red hall. It happens in the main hallway. I mean, it's happening all over the building. The majority of the time, it's when we go to lock up. It's like they don't want us to leave. One of my team members got a rock thrown at him and hit in the back. One of my team members, seen a rock fly out of a room, an empty room. I've seen that on several occasions. A rock just shoots out into the hallway. You go in the room, nobody's in there. Just multiple weird, strange, phenomena taking place at Pine Lawn. The marble too on Halloween night, Halloween going into November 1st. We got a guy that's completely skeptical. He's now decided to join our team. Shane, he was, I don't know if he's out there watching, or his wife Brooke, but they both decided to join our team now because he was pretty skeptical, guys. I mean, and that's what I like. This guy, he didn't really believe much of anything regarding ghosts, spirits, or anything like that. And he witnesses stuff with his own eyes, and he can't explain the phenomena that he witnessed. So I think it's kind of opens his eyes up to the fact that maybe there's weird stuff going on out there we can't explain. And, and like he said, you can't say it's a ghost, but what is it? I mean, a marble appearing. What happened is a marble shot out from around or under a door, and we even tried to debunk. We took another marble that we found and tried to put it under the door. It won't fit under the door, but it appeared to shoot out from underneath the door. And the door, there was a solid wall behind the door. The door was like shut up against the wall. It didn't come from the door frame or in through the opening of the door itself. It came from the solid wall area behind the door where it was shut. So it came out of nowhere, and it was propelled by motion. It had some force, some unseen force was propelling this marble to roll. And that really, got him. If you go back and watch the live feed, we've got that part marked on the video. I think it's our live feed video that night was titled Halloween at Pine Lawn Manor Part 2, I believe. But we've got notes as to where to go look to watch that. But still no explanation for the events going on there, guys. No explanation at all. So we have marbles appearing, multiple marbles. I think we're up to like 12 now that we have documented. One of them, the weirdest one, I left my equipment case there all night one night on one of the desks right inside the door. And this was after we got marbled that night. We nicknamed this guy the Marbler. It's kind of funny. We got nicknames for all these ghosts in there. The Pine Lawn Poltergeist, the Marbler, the Whistler. But I laid my equipment case inside. We come back for the next tour the next night, and nobody was in the building. We had it locked up. There is a marble laying in my equipment case. That was not there. I mean, we've got all the marbles marked on the floor that fell. We have not seen these marbles. We don't know where they're coming from. Nobody has them in their pocket. None of my team members did this, to play a prank on me, because I did question them. Don't get me wrong. I was like, okay, who did this? They all swear they did not do it. We all went in at the same time anyway. There's no way they could have done it. But I question everything anyway. I try to debunk everything I can debunk. But yeah, there was a marble laying in my equipment case. No explanation for it whatsoever. Trying to get back to the live feed, guys. I lost your questions here, but give me a second here. Okay, I think I'm back up. But yeah, we had a lot of the public come in and see this stuff. There's people saying, right now on the live feed, I was there, I saw it, we seen this stuff. So it's not us making this stuff up. And that's why I wanted to bring the public into here to let you guys know, because if some guy came up to me, said, hey, I got this haunted location where marbles are flying around and quarters are coming out of the wall and coins are materializing out of nowhere, I would probably try to check him into the nearest, psychiatric or mental ward. I wouldn't believe him. It's like, and that's why, it's just one of those things you've got to see and experience to believe this. And it's changed my mind and my idea on a lot of things. I'm skeptical. I don't want to believe in this stuff. I don't want to believe that marbles and pennies can come out of thin air. I don't want to believe that can happen, but I can't deny that it's happening. Pennies, they'll roll out. We found pennies, we found dimes, we found quarters, and believe it or not, this last Friday night, I hope I'm getting the days right, we didn't have much going on. Luke said it definitely proved itself Halloween night into the morning hours. Luke was there. He's seen this. He's actually been with us now, witnessed this phenomena, and he's joined our team now, by the way. So want to congratulate Luke on joining us and welcome him to our paranormal investigation team. Also, Luke Massey out there watching. He's now a team member after, watching and seeing some of this stuff also, along with a few other people that have attended Pine Lawn and have decided to join us. But we're still trying to figure out, what's causing this activity. Again, it's almost a phenomenon of its own, I want to classify it as a poltergeist, but it's not entirely that. I don't even know what to call it. But this stuff is happening in front of everybody, and we're now catching it on our live feed, and it's escalating. It started out in our first investigation by just a few bangs and knocks, and it's getting to where now, we're seeing the things we were hearing. At first, it was like residual sounds taking place that we couldn't explain. We would hear glass break. We would hear pennies falling and rolling, but we could never find them. Now we're actually finding the objects. It's like it's escalating, into, first we were hearing it. Now it's materializing. And it's just crazy. But going back into our last Friday, nothing was going on. We're in the group 2 hallway, down there. And all of a sudden, boom, out of nowhere, you hear ping, ping. I mean, just falls down onto the floor. And this is a weird thing. Let me back up a little. I asked it previously in the night. I was like, ghosts or spirits, why don't you throw me a coin that's more rare? Can you give me a rare coin so you can verify your authenticity or your intelligence? Can you give me something better than a quarter, a dime, a penny, or something like that? All of a sudden, a 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar coin materialized and fell into the hallway right in front of us. We went over, looked at it, examined it, left it where it was, photographed it, blue taped it with time and date. I can't explain it. I asked for something more rare. It gave it to me, and I've done that several times where, like, I said I wanted a marble for my collection to back that up a little bit too. I was like, I'm leaving all this stuff there for evidence, but I've got a haunted collection, of items I've collected all over the United States from different places. I was like, man, I don't want to take any of this off the floor because it's evidence, but I wish I had one of those marbles. Well, that was the night it left me a marble in my case. It heard me say that out loud. It's like I asked for something and it gives it to you. Very strange. It's definitely intelligent because it's listening to what I say in there. So, I mean, just very, very weird. Yeah, Tammy was there. Tammy Joe's been there. A lot of our, viewers, have been there now to see this place. And I just keep getting stranger reports. Now we're going to talk about what happened over this coming weekend, this last weekend. Again, we had some strange phenomena going on. Rocks were being thrown. It was a little more quiet this weekend than Halloween. But we were still having strange things happen, especially when we went to lock up. We had a rock shoot out of an empty room. We found another marble in front of a room that was not there. Just a lot of strange things. And the Susan B. Anthony also was this past weekend. Then the next night, which would have been Saturday night, this last Saturday night, not much was going on. Like, we weren't having the normal activity, and stuff, but And I'm on the fence about, what exactly happened here. And I'm going to tell you before I get started with this story, I was not in the room when this took place. I was not present in the room to see this happen. So I cannot tell you guys I seen this happen, but there were people in the room. And I believe Amanda, my team member, Amanda Roughton, was in the room. I could be wrong on that, but I believe she was. I'll have to ask her, but I'm pretty sure she was in the room when it happened. So I get a call on the radio, get to the crazy room quick. So I'm running across the place. I actually cut through the doors and ran across the parking lot. Didn't know what was going on. I thought maybe there was some strange new activity going on, which there kind of was. I run in, I get to the room we refer to as the crazy room, and everybody's around this guy in a chair. And I said, what's going on, guys? And apparently this guy claims he got kicked by a unseen force. Like what I'm, often referred to in there as the Pine Lawn Poltergeist. And it's really weird because I had made the comment to my team members. I was like, when is this thing, if it can hit a pile of junk, is it ever going to make contact with a human? But I'm not saying, this took place. I don't know. I was not in the room. I can't, like I put on our activity report, I can't confirm nor deny that it was actually a ghost or spirit that made contact with this guy's knee. He said that he got hit in the knee, and I've got to take his word for it. He said that he has no explanation for it. I interviewed him, after we, gave him medical assistance, got him out of the building. I asked him if he wanted an ambulance. At first, he did not want an ambulance. He said he got hit by something in there. I looked at his knee. It didn't look swollen, but it was locked. His leg was locked to the point where he couldn't walk. Yeah, me and Ed Reese, one of my team members, we had to assist him outside. And he sat down for a while, thought he was better, went in, and later on in the night requested an ambulance. So I think he was just kind of more shook up than anything, wanted checked out. But like I say, I'm not that guy. I don't know if he got hit, if he didn't get hit. He claims he did. All I know is there was audio recordings rolling, separate recorders rolling in the room at the time he got hit. I have reviewed those audio recordings, and you can hear a thump, like a sound like somebody is getting hit. I don't know. I can hit my leg, though, make a sound too. I'm trying to debunk it, but I don't know. Everybody, there was a lot of witnesses in there. Nobody came up to me and said, hey, the guy hit himself in the leg. The guy's out actually watching on my feed right now, but I have to try to debunk everything. He's watching the feed right now, but it's like, I don't know. I can't explain. I'm at a loss for words as to what's happening there and why that happened. If it is getting physical, I've never really believed in that kind of stuff, that a ghost can make contact with a human being. I've always debunked scratches. I've always debunked any type of physical contact that people claim that ghosts or spirits have caused to a physical person. And I still don't know that I believe it. I'm not saying that I believe this guy got hit, but if he did not get hit, he is an extremely, extremely good actor. I will put it that way. His breathing rate was up. He was sweating profusely as we were taking him out. Breathing rate and sweating like that's very hard to fake. He was acted like, he was shook up over it. I mean, he was clearly physically shook up over what happened. And, that's what happened. Whether it was a ghost or spirit or the Pine Lawn poltergeist that made contact with this individual, I'm going to leave it up to you guys to come to your own determination on that. But I can't, like I say, I can't sit here and say 100% yes, a ghost made contact when I'm not the guy. I can't feel what he felt, and I can't prove or disprove that it happened. So that's where I stand on that situation. We're going to go back and do more research, figure out what's going on in there, and we may actually be going tonight. He says this is his wife. He definitely can't act. LOL. I was going to say good actor if he can, but his wife's on here commenting right now. Bruised, she says, the knee's bruised. So here's the weird thing. On one of our investigations, Amanda's jacket got cut. She doesn't know how it happened. It looked like a knife blade went down her jacket and got cut. No explanation for that. There's just a lot of weird things going on. Is that tied to something physical? One lady told me she thought that nothing happened to her in there. When she got home, her foot was like hurting bad. She doesn't know if it was that or what, but I've also been told stories now, people leaving Pine Lawn and stuff following them or things happening to them at home. Like one of the guys that's joined my team now ended up with a marble in his vehicle. He was cleaning his vehicle out. He swears he doesn't have any marbles. He doesn't know how it got in his vehicle. But after he left Pine Lawn, a day or two later, he was cleaning his vehicle out, vacuuming, the vehicle. He looks, I believe it was under the seat. I may be wrong on that, but he found a marble underneath his seat after he left Pine Lawn. One of our team members' daughters was wearing my team member's jacket in Pine Lawn. Felt like she got a scratch on her neck, reached into the empty pocket of my team member's jacket, and there was a nickel in there that I know was not in there either because we checked everybody before we came in, and she said she was feeling around in his pockets, and it was not there previous to her getting a scratch mark on her neck. She reached in there and pulled out a nickel out of the pocket that she says was not there, and she was freaking out over it. A lot of weird things. Today, we get a report, believe it or not, and I haven't interviewed this lady, so I hope I'm telling this story right. Amanda talked to this lady. I probably should have had her on there. I don't know what she's doing tonight, but I haven't had a chance to interview the lady that told Amanda this, but they were driving past Pine Lawn. I don't know if it was last night, today. They were going past the driveway where group 3 is located, or what some people call the Red Hall. Only she was outside driving. There's a road out there that goes along that portion of Pine Lawn Manor. And she says a rock flew out of nowhere from, I believe to be the Pine Lawn Manor area, and hit her car. And she has no explanation for where the rock came from. She claims that it was thrown from the yard of Pine Lawn Manor, I believe, into her car, is what they're saying. Like I said, I haven't interviewed this lady to get the complete story, but that's what I'm getting out of it from Amanda's message to me. She messaged Amanda about it. And they kind of live over there close to Pine Lawn Manor, and they go up and down that road every day. So they would know if something unusual is happening, because, they go past it every day, literally. And she thought this was a very, very strange event, for her to contact Amanda and tell her this, that she got rocked outside Pine Lawn Manor going by the place. So really weird stuff going on, guys. And the residents used to go outside. They'd let them outside, to do daily activities. One guy, they told us, like to go outside and pick up cans around the area and collect them. The residents were used to going outside and interacting with the outside environment. Some of them were that they would let go out and do that. So, it wouldn't be unusual or uncommon for, a ghost or spirit to be outside the location that's haunted either. So, walking around in the yard or around the building or premises. Multiple people have seen a hooded figure out back of Pine Lawn on the tours. I've never got out there in time to catch it. We don't know if it's a real person or a ghost. But multiple people reported coming running back and saying, "Oh my gosh, there's a guy in a hood out back." And I go running out there and don't see a thing. So I don't know if somebody just playing a prank on them and hiding out there, or what's going on with that. But that's been another report there. Just strange occurrences taking place, especially with the people leaving there, finding nickels in pockets after they leave that weren't there. Rocks, like I said, hitting the cars. But I'm going to go to some of your comments now. Deb says, "Wow, this place is crazy." Yes, it is. Lisa McCoy, that's so wild. Russell says, "My mom had 2 bruises on her, and she didn't take her jacket off ever while we was there." I don't know what to think about this, guys. I'm reading more and more accounts of just things that happen to people. Just unbelievable. And I told people, and I'm still going to say this. I've been all over the United States investigating paranormal occurrences and phenomena, and debunked 98% of what I find and see, or the places that are supposedly haunted. And I would put money, and I told people on the tour, I've told people this like a bunch now, I would put money on Pine Lawn Manor being the most haunted location like in the United States. If not, it's right up there. I've never seen a place. I would challenge somebody to show me a place where this stuff is happening. Because I've never seen it. I've tried to find locations like this. This was like a gold mine for paranormal activity and research to us, because we were able to, see and find and hear all this stuff. And it's like, we didn't expect any of it. When I first went into Pine Lawn on that first investigation, on our live feed, I had the assumption there was probably something weird going on in there, because on one of my walkthroughs during the daylight hours, I originally picked out the crazy room because of an occurrence that I had take place there on my original visit to Pine Lawn. I walked in there, and we were just kind of looking through the building, and I found a board with all the names of the people, the residents, and how the rooms were laid out in there. And while I was looking at that board, I got a poke right in the back. Like, very seldom do I say that something paranormal or something ghostly physically made contact with me. And like, there was nobody. Well, the guy we were interviewing, trying to tell us all the stuff, we were just new into this at that point. He was trying to tell us where everything happened. I think his name was Ed too, if I'm not wrong. He was behind me about, I don't know, 3.5, 4 feet, but he was not close enough to me. And I looked behind him. I said, "Did you poke me?" And he goes, "No." I could tell he didn't. I mean, he was far enough. I would have seen him move or something, but a finger jabbed me in the back in that room. And that's when I told people, I said, I don't know what's in that room that we now refer to as the crazy room, but something's in there, because it made some contact with me. I said, keep an eye on that room. And man, was I right. Quarters flying out of the walls, marbles coming out of nowhere, people maybe getting hit. I don't know. The pile getting hit. There's also a mysterious sound of glass breaking in that room. And that happened over the weekend. And several individuals recorded that on their recorders. They were rolling. They're catching this stuff, guys. I mean, there's proof. There's evidence of these residual sounds and of the physical objects being moved and the sounds they're making. People are videoing this. People are getting it on recorders, audio. Everything is being recorded. I've recorded pretty much every event, sound event that I've experienced on my recorder, on my audio recorder, because it has been running at all times. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get all that evidence, which is going to take me weeks and weeks to go through. But I'm going to try to get all that evidence onto a soundtrack or a sound file, put it all together, and maybe try to play it on a show one night or put it up as an evidence track. So we can just roll through each individual sound that we have ever captured in Pine Lawn, from pennies falling to glass breaking to the pile getting hit. It's going to be really cool, because we're going to put all these sounds together, and I'm going to roll them into one audio file. So it just, plays all our evidence, so you guys can listen to all these events that have taken place. But I've got a lot of reviewing. I got a lot of editing to do, so I can clip out those portions and put it up there as evidence. And because that's why, if you guys are wondering why we haven't posted a lot of evidence from there, it's because we've got so much evidence. I can't even get to it all right now. We're just now finishing up our haunted tours there for the public. That was our last one over the weekend. And so I still got to go talk to the owner again, and get with him. But we are, we're going to hopefully continue to investigate the place and maybe buy it. It's still in the works. So it's crazy. I don't. What's going on? I'm reading Luke here. Audrey Nelson, we were walking through Saturday night. A balloon was actually stuffed. Oh, yeah, up on the door. We aren't sure if it was someone that did it. I forgot about that. Luke's talking about another event. There's so many events that take place there, I forget about it. I also forgot to mention a chair. That was one of the first weekends, flipped over on its own in the dining area. Just smacked the floor. Nobody was around. It just falls over. But what Luke's talking about, we were cleaning up and not much was going on this last night after the guy got hit. We were walking the hallway, and one of the balloons we had, it was a light up balloon, was stuck up in the door, up in the hinge area where the door frame is, up on the top. As we were coming down the hallway, coming back toward the crazy room hall, none of us remember. I mean, we didn't put it up there. Whether or not we just didn't notice it, I don't know how 5 or 6 of us walking the hallways didn't notice this light up balloon wedged up in the door frame after, everybody had left. The only thing natural explanation I have for it is the last, public person or paying public person that left the event, played a prank on us and stuck it up there. But the thing is, I don't remember it being there as we were walking through previous, after they left. I don't remember it being there. None of us do. So, that could be paranormal, may not be. But yeah, the balloon was up in the door frame up there. Just a lot of strange stuff. Russell said, did you mark down Boomer and Tina's room for the confirmed deaths? Yes, we've got all that marked. And I think we're going to do some more interviews with a couple people, a couple nurses, a couple people that were telling us more information. We're going to mark more rooms, as to, where people died at in there. We have confirmed deaths. And again, we're up to close to 50 or a little over 50 confirmed deaths there at Pine Lawn Manor, looking through obituaries, looking through death, records. And the Sumner Cemetery, we found out that there was 26 people out there. We went and counted them, buried out there that died at Pine Lawn, and their families couldn't afford a proper burial plot. So if you go straight back the road to the cemetery, make a left where it tees in the Sumner Cemetery, there's a plot there full of 26 people that passed away at Pine Lawn Manor. And we believe the gravesite of what they refer to as BB is back there. And BB was a real, I guess a real good character. Everybody liked her. And that's the thing too, guys, about this place. These aren't bad people that were here. It was a home for the mentally disabled. A lot of these people were good people. Everybody loved them. It's not evil, bad things we're dealing with. It's just when you get a location with so many deaths, regardless, it's going to be extremely active. And that's what I told you. That's the formula for a haunting. You've got to have a lot of deaths. You've got to have a lot of history. You've got to have a lot of negative emotions, or even positive emotions can make a place haunted. But you got to have that perfect formula of a lot of stuff taking place within the walls of one area. Just like Gettysburg, where we investigated the Gettysburg battlefield. So many people died, in those battles during the Civil War, in one particular place. The whole place was, nothing but blood, they claim. Some of the hills, they were climbing over soldiers, their dead comrades. They were climbing over bodies stacked up to get to move on. That's the kind of stuff that creates hauntings, deaths and tragic deaths, unfortunate deaths. Unfortunately, we've uncovered a lot of abuse that took place at Pine Lawn Manor. And I know there's a lot of people out there watching that probably worked there, or, back in the day, that probably don't want to hear this, but we've heard story after story of things that shouldn't have happened there, things that are pretty bad, like feeding tubes being put in the wrong place. And a 19-year-old female was pumped full of food from her feeding tube for 3 days, crying and complaining that she's hurting, and they let her die. That shouldn't have happened. Things like that. They misplaced her feeding tube, pumped her body just full of food, and she 3 days of her complaining and crying, and then she dies, of her infection. She probably got septic, and died from that. A lot of things. One guy was choking. They took him to his room after he was choking, left him in the room to die, and second shift found him, I guess, dead. They put him in there, and the first shift left, and the second shift came back and found this guy dead in his room. And it's stories like that just upset me. And it's sad that things like that happened back in the day and are probably still going on in nursing homes today, unfortunately. And I can say that about nursing homes because, I've seen bad things happen in nursing homes. And it's still, unfortunately, the abuse continues, but just a sad deal at Pine Lawn. And that's why I think a lot of these spirits, a lot of them probably are angry. I'd be angry too, so a lot of that figures into this haunting, or factors into this place being haunted. The kind of deaths that took place there, the horrible things that took place. That was kind of weird. Something just tapped on my wall. I don't know if you guys heard that or not, but I guess somebody's here with me. But apparently they followed me. But I just want to give you guys an update tonight, on what's happening there, what we've experienced, and everything, and we're still continuing to research this location. And hopefully, we get to investigate this place for years to come. Hopefully, we can save this place from being destroyed. That's our goal. We want to save this location just because of the activity there, the memories there, and to preserve the memory of the people who passed away there. And I think that's an important thing too that needs to get out is, these people can't be forgot. You can't forget these people and the stuff they went through there. That we want to bring their memory back to life, through our paranormal research and through our investigations at Pine Lawn Manor. We want people to remember the names of the people that passed away there, get their names out, and maybe even put a memorial up for them, or something like that. But like I say, it's sad the tragic events that took place there. Some people had wandered away from the home and were found dead in a creek nearby, in a field nearby. I've heard several accounts of, at least 2 or 3 people escaping Pine Lawn because they weren't being watched, and they were found dead, down the road somewhere, outside of the perimeters of Pine Lawn Manor. And we've uncovered 2 or 3 cases, I believe, where that took place. One of them didn't die, but they were found walking as far over as Red Hill State Park and was picked up, I believe, by a state police officer. They found the individual walking down the road, clear over there on the highway by Red Hill State Park, because they'd gotten out and the staff wasn't watching them. So, but yeah, we want people to remember, these people, and and bring it to good light, that these people weren't bad people, and that they were, loved by their loved ones just like everybody else is, So we're going to try to, preserve the history of this place, preserve the memory of this place, and just, open the eye to the public of things that go on in locations like this, and unfortunately still go on in locations such as nursing homes and stuff where there's a lot of abuse. I'm not saying every nursing home out there is abuse, but I know it's still going on in places, unfortunately. But definitely, keep up with our page, guys, and we're gonna try to continue to investigate and bring you up-to-date information on that. But before we get off here, I just want to bring up the subject real quick of, marbles and pennies falling from the air. Give us comments out there. I mean, do you guys believe in this? I mean, I believe in it 100% because I've seen it. But have you guys ever had experiences where maybe you looked down, you found a penny laying there, and you didn't know where it came from? Maybe a marble you found somewhere, you didn't know where it came from. And I've been researching this, and until this happened to us, I wasn't aware of that this phenomena was as popular and widespread as what it really is. I did some research on Google, reading people's firsthand accounts, if you can believe anything on Google, or anything you Google search anyway. But I was reading a bunch of forums and stuff where people were talking about this, about marbles, materializing, and it's usually a sign of like a loved one, giving you a gift. One guy said he asked for his dead brother to, show him he was alive and well, in the afterlife, and give him some sort of a sign. And I guess he used to collect marbles. Well, all of a sudden, marbles started appearing all over his house after he asked his brother. His brother had passed away, for a sign that he was there. And he said he was going to give him a bowl full of marbles, and he ended up with a whole bowl full of marbles that materialized out of nowhere. So, I mean, this is a phenomena that's being reported all over the internet. This isn't just something we're making up. People are experiencing this everywhere. And I didn't know that. I had no clue. I've never, in my 24 years of investigating paranormal occurrences and buildings and locations that you couldn't even imagine, what I think, 2020, Halloween of 2020, I'd have coins and marbles flying out of walls or out of places they shouldn't be coming out of, empty rooms. I mean, I don't know. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen, probably ever will see in my life. I don't think I'll ever see anything as crazy as what we've experienced at this location. I mean, I don't think it's possible. But then again, I didn't think this was possible. So, I guess anything's possible. But marble, people finding pennies. And I've been researching that. They say pay real close attention to what the date is on the penny, where the penny was found, because it could be the fact that, the ghost or spirit died in 1986 and they leave you a 1986 penny heads up. So you find it near their room or maybe on their tombstone, or At a place you guys always visited, like a park or something, a park bench where you guys always went to stay or sit. Just pay attention, they say, to the location and where it's found, the date of the coin. Just a lot of those things play a factor into it. But because I've always heard that saying, pennies from heaven, and that they believe, loved ones drop pennies out of heaven to let you know they're okay. And it's apparently true. I don't know if heaven's real, but pennies falling out of nowhere is real, guys. So I can verify that. So where they're coming from, whether you call it heaven, a different dimension, I like to call it a different dimension. Because the funny thing, I've seen this happen so many times now at Pylon. I've been able to tell there's a split second sound that takes place with the occurrence of these events that sounds almost like a miniature, like I don't even know how to describe it. Like it's not a loud boom, but like a little pop, like a sonic boom. Jet or plane, when they break the sound barrier, you hear that boom. When that quarter came out of the wall, I heard a slight like pop, and then it was like boom, and then you hear the change sound. So it's like, are these things like materializing and popping and coming through like some type of barrier, like a dimensional barrier, a sound barrier, some type of barrier we're not aware of? Because I'm hearing some weird sounds as it's happening that I can't explain. Sometimes you don't hear the pop. Sometimes it just ping, ping. You hear the penny go rolling, or you hear the penny fall, or the glass bust, a light bulb shattered on its own in there. It's crazy. Robbie Robinson said this is 2020. So, yeah, this may be the end of the world. I don't know what's going on, Robbie. But just weird stuff. But yeah, pay attention to this stuff, guys, though. I'm telling you, pay attention to coins, pay attention to marbles, open your awareness to this phenomena, because I think it's probably happening more than what we realize. I think loved ones are trying to get our attention through objects, and I 100% believe, that this stuff we are experiencing is unexplainable and that it is coming from somewhere else. So pay attention to your everyday life, and, maybe ask a loved one for a sign, say, hey, give me a penny, give me a marble, and see what happens. It apparently happens. So, I want your stories too. If you guys ever experience any of this, email us, send us a message, say, hey, I found a penny today. I found a marble out of place today that I don't know where it came from. But just definitely pay attention. And when you go to tombstones, a lot of times, especially like famous graves, I know, for instance, here in our county, Elizabeth Betsy Reed, a lot of people have been leaving pennies on her grave lately, or coins. Same thing with over in the Mound Cemetery in Jasper County, Illinois. Burl Ives is buried over there. I'm sure you guys, if you have heard about Burl Ives and everything, but he's kind of a famous folk art singer and stuff. He's buried in Jasper County in the Mound Cemetery. People lay, pennies, coins all over his grave. Well, now I've got to re-question that and think, when I see these pennies and these coins, are all of them from us? Is that all from people laying coins there? Or are the ghosts laying coins there also? Are they making those coins multiply, or also putting, coins into this play? Yeah, Frosty the Snowman. That's what I was trying to come up with, Luke. Thank you. You must have read my mind. I was trying to think of what he done, but yeah, he was the Frosty the Snowman guy. Burl Ives was. Do you think this is the strangest thing that has happened to you over the Halloween tours? Jen Newland wants to know. Jen, this is the strangest thing that has happened to me in my life. In my paranormal career, Pine Lawn Manor is the strangest thing that has happened to me in my life. The experiences that we are finding, the things that are happening to us in there, I have no explanation for it. I wouldn't believe anybody if they told me that this was happening to them. And I don't expect you guys to believe me until you go experience this. And that's why I want to do these public tours to show people, this is going on in there. And I want to bring skeptics in there and show them, hey, look at this. This is real. We've got video footage on the live feed, but I'm not content with that video footage. I'm not satisfied, I guess, with the video footage we captured on Halloween night on our live feed, because the camera is dark and we can't prove to you that those objects came from nowhere. You see the aftermath of it rolling, or you hear it and obviously see everybody's reaction and can tell we're not faking this, because we're all going crazy and cussing, and I apologize for that. But when you see a quarter come out of the air, I guarantee you're going to start speaking 5 different languages and cuss words in 5 different languages. But because you're a little shocked. Yeah. I mean, it just startles you, and I've seen it so many times in there, it still startles me. I mean, it's happened to me every night I'm in there, but it still startles you, when a coin or a marble comes out of thin air and starts rolling, especially the coins, they make a noise. One of my team members, John Sweat, the marbles didn't bother him. The glass breaking didn't bother him. But, the pennies really freaked him out. He was like, I'm going to have to take a while to compose myself. He's sitting in the chair, and I didn't know if he was going to get up and leave, or if I was going to have to take him to the hospital or what. But that was the first time he experienced it. I was like, I told you, John, it's real. And he was just sitting there shaking his head in disbelief. And that's how everybody is. It's like, where's it coming from? I mean, but it's freaked a lot of people out, like a lot of people are like changing their ways of viewing things. I mean, it's almost a life-changing event when you can confirm a marble shoots out of a room when there's nobody in that room. It's absolute proof of some intelligent something causing that to happen. I mean, whether it's a ghost or spirit, don't know. I mean, whether it's some type of weird dimensional thing and stuff shooting out of this dimensional doorway and flying, and it's not even, maybe it's not an actual soul of a person. I don't know. I'm trying to come up with different theories for this. Jen Newland says, my mom sent me pennies, chipmunks, and hummingbirds. And yeah, that's a common thing too. People will experience animals, butterflies, bugs. If your mom was like into butterflies, collected butterfly stuff, a butterfly might come down, land on your hand or something, stay there when you're thinking about them. I think they do give us signs. I think loved ones give us signs all the time that they're okay and they're watching over us, and that's comforting to know that life goes on, and that's one thing that Pylon Manor has definitely taught me, 100%. I don't know I don't know how to explain all of it, but it's just, again, another, I guess, kick in the rear end, telling me, hey, I'm as skeptical as I am, we survived death. And, that because there's things that prove in this life that, we can't explain, never will explain, that have to be coming from somewhere else, whether you call it a different dimension, whether you call it heaven, whether you call it hell, whether you call it purgatory. There's a lot of different names, for the places that, they say we go after we die. But what I do know is we probably definitely survived death due to the strange things that I have seen. And that should be comforting to a lot of people, and that's why I like to comfort and tell people this too, don't be afraid of death, because there's definitely life beyond death. And our research proves that, our evidence proves that, everything we've got. But Brandon out there says, I was trying to comment or see what he said a minute ago, because he was there too. Oh, he's talking about Frosty the Snowman. It wasn't Frosty the Snowman. He was Sam the Snowman off of Rudolph. I don't know. I'm not a big bro eyes guy, so I'm not sure about that. Karen Cat says she's talking to, the patients were nonverbal. Yeah, a lot of the patients at Pylon were nonverbal. They had to communicate in different ways. They had to physically touch, move things, or something like that. But yeah, a lot of them were nonverbal. So they may be, getting our attention in other ways. We're not getting a lot of EVP activity in there. Although I did, for the first time, that was on Halloween weekend too. I forgot about this. I did, for the first time, I picked up a really clear Class A EVP at Pylon Manor on Hall 3 back in the dining area. I got a voice that said, people. And then about a minute later, I got another voice that said, people. So, whoever it is aware people are in there, and they're intelligent and they're seeing this, obviously, because they're hearing what I say, because they're giving me what I ask for. So this is a very intelligent haunting. That's the thing too. Like, I started out thinking maybe, and I think I've changed my mind on, on my first, episodes, I thought maybe these people were keeping the same mindset they had when they were alive, and it scared me to think that, that we don't get better after we die. But I've almost changed my mind on that, because these people are intelligent. Whatever this is intelligent. It's listening to me. It's giving me what I want. It's making things come out of nowhere. I mean, that's got to be highly intelligent, to tell you the truth. So I don't know, but again, they're communicating non-verbally, which is weird too, other than me getting people on my digital recorder. That's the only EVP I've ever picked up in there. We don't get any voices coming across intelligent responses on the Ghost box or the Phasma box, really. Although one individual was using the Solomon app in one of the back corners, and it was also a very skeptical person, one of the skeptical persons. So asked to join now. He got across there. It said believe. So it told him to believe across the Solomon app, which was really cool, because he's skeptical. And I guess that freaked him out a little, because he didn't want to hear that, and it said, believe. So one thing we have not heard is the telephone ringing in that was reported. People reported the telephone ringing. We still have not physically experienced that or had that happen, although some people on our live feed claim to hear that over our audio in our live feed. I've physically not heard the phone ring. One of the guys used to be on my team. He was in there, and he's a telephone guy. He may have debunked that. He went toward the back, and I'll have to ask him what he said about that again. But something about the lines are bare, and it's a possibility of something going through those lines or something and causing the phone to maybe ring. So we may have debunked, if that's happening, debunk that through a faulty phone line or something in the back. Because say I'm not a phone guy, but he is, and he was telling me that that's the only thing he could think of that could be causing it. He went around back and looked at it. So we may be able to debunk the ringing phone as a natural phenomena that takes place because of a faulty line or something. I have to talk with him more about that, but we haven't experienced that yet. Robbie Robinson said, ask for $1 million and don't forget about your cousins. Yeah, I won't forget about you, Robbie, especially if I get $1 million falling out of the sky. So, but yeah, that's what we got going on at Pine Lawn. And definitely keep a lookout for pennies and marbles out there, guys. I think we're going to end it short tonight. We are going to go on an investigation tonight. I'm not saying where. We're going to go on a private investigation later again tonight. We go out all the time, but so I got to get off here a little early tonight, but I still want to thank you guys for watching. And if you have any experiences like this, definitely get a hold of us. Tell us your experiences. Again, thank you, everybody who's watched, everybody who's attended our tours. We appreciate each and every one of you. We love meeting the fans and having you guys come out and investigate with us and go on these events and help us support these places. Hopefully we can put the money back into, the place to help it, to fix it up and everything. And, we donate all our money to the Masonic Lodge for their investigations that we did, in Halloween. So definitely, check our page, and we will update you with the current events and stuff that we got going on. And we're going to be doing a lot of live investigations now that our public events are over. We're going to be getting back to the grind of investigating places we've been called into. So definitely look forward to that. We're going to be doing several public places or businesses around the area. One of them's in Robinson, Illinois. We're going to have a big event again at Effingham, Illinois, and paranormal investigation we're going to announce here in the near future. So everybody take care out there tonight. Stay safe, and I'm going to end the show tonight, guys, right here at 10:13. So we'll see you on the next one, everyone.